Greetings everyone. Today we are going to take care of a nice deep gouge and a cluster of scuffs, scrapes, and scratches on either side. It happens to be on a Harley Super Glide here, but nonetheless it's on clear coat, so we're going to be learning how to remove this stuff from clear, no matter if it's from a car, truck, or motorcycle. Upon removing the seat, we can see there's some wear and tear and some distortion on the clear from the seat rubbing against it. We're going to take care of that by putting some protective film on later after the correction. We're going to start out the correction here, spraying a little bit of water on the area and attach a 1000 grit Trizact disc onto a foam hand sanding block. I'll teach you guys how to make one of these blocks. I got mine from a 3M headlight restoration kit, but why spend 30 some bucks when you can make one for $1 or $2 from just getting some supplies from a local craft shop. We're going to be real careful with the correction here, guys. We don't have the normal 1.5 to 2 mils of thickness from the clear coat, which is what you usually get from factory. This ranges in between 1 and 1.25, which means it was probably corrected before at some time. So we're going to take much care into this correction, leaving as much clear as possible for UVA, UVB protection. The bike is out riding in gorgeous sunny days, so we want that protection to remain, especially on the areas that are facing upwards towards the sun. That long gouge is looking good, and so are the cluster of scratches and scrapes on either side. So now we're going to work on the top of the fender where the seat was rubbing and working itself into the clear. We're going to straighten that out and remove it as well. When we're done, we're going to remove the residue from the clear and look at our work. This is what it looks like so far after this stage. Everything should be a fuzzy or a hazy or a cloudy texture to it. Now, there are a few areas here that remain. They're minuscule, and they will be corrected going on to the next few steps. The next step here happens to be adding a 3000 grit Trizact disc to the sanding block. And all we're doing here is removing the standing marks from the 1000 grit. And in that motion, all in one, we're going to be finishing out the correction of the 1 or 2 remaining spots from the gouges and the nicks and so on. So when we're finished here, what we want to see is that hazing from the first step just lighten up a bit. We're going to see a little bit of clarity creep in. And what I like about the 3000 grit disc for this particular step is from here you can jump to just about any polish or compound. If you read the back of most compounds, it'll say it can correct from 2500 grit and higher. So from 3000 grit, you could take your pick. With some of that clarity already creeping back in, we're going to jump to the polishing or compounding. We're going to grab an Optimum Polymer microfiber cutting pad, 3-inch, already primed with angel wax, and we're going to slap it on the Flex XFE 80 3-inch polisher. This is a cutting compound here, but it also has diminishing abrasives and plenty of lubrication, so you can keep going with absolutely no dusting. The set of compounds from Angel Wax, superb. I use them every day. If you took them away from me, I'd have a serious case of depression setting in, guys. The stuff is that good. In some cases, the resurrection can be used as a one-step, but in others, you may have to bring in an ultra fine or a polish to prep the surface for a wax or a coating. That's going to do it with this compound and this microfiber cutting pad. So we're going to swap that stuff out. I'm going to bring you in to take a look and see what we're at after this stage of the game. We're close to being finished, guys. We're almost done. Any imperfection that was there at one time is completely removed here. So all we want to concentrate on now is bringing back the clarity, bringing out the gloss and giving it that wet look. off with the microfiber cutting pad, and on with a Buff and Shine foam polishing pad. We're going to grab the Angel Wax Redemption. That is a fine cutting polish, and we're going to bring back the clarity to the surface before we add protection. We're done with that gorgeous, powerful, smooth Flex XFE 3-inch polisher. We're going to remove the residue and come in for a look. One little task remains, and that is to protect the top of the fender, the clear coat, from the seat itself. We're going to lay down a little piece of Expel that I fabricated, and we're going to let that take the abuse from the seat instead of the clear coat. So we're going to clear it off, make sure there's no polishes or compound or any kind of residue with the IP solution. Then we're going to lay down a layer of slip solution, and we're going to squeegee that off. It's not going to mar or scratch it. What we're doing is getting rid of light, dust, and dirt, or even lint from our microfiber before we lay down the film. Expel is a self-healing paint protection film that can easily be repaired when there's etching or light scratching by running a heat gun over it. It'll fill in and it'll go away right before your eyes. So what we do is we peel it back a little bit, spray some of the slip solution in there so it won't fold up on itself and stick together, because once it does, it's done. So we're going to spray both sides with the slip solution, and we could set it on the paint, and with the solution there, we could glide it back and forth and center it without it sticking. When I have the piece exactly where I want it to be, you will see me pull up a corner or two, grab the IP solution, which is also called the tack solution, and spray it in there. That's going to get rid of the slip solution. It's also going to make the adhesive tacky. We are then going to be able to lay down that film permanently. From there, all we do is stretch out the film one way or another and work out the fingers. The fingers are the little areas, as you can see there, that pop up and look like little folds. You stretch out the film, you lay it down. If it's not tacky, spray a little bit more of the IP solution in there. It'll make it stick, and you can lay it down and you're good to go. There's a fine line you have to learn to walk with the paint protection films. You could stretch them, but you can't stretch them too far, or you'll distort the film. You can't pull up and lay down the film too many times, or the adhesive gives way. And when you finally have it where you want it to be, you want to work out every bubble and lay down every corner. And to finish it off, we just simply remove any remaining moisture. Here's the finished product. He has quality protection to keep that clear from absorbing wear and tear and abuse from the seat that we're just about to put back on again. This is a finished product. I thank you guys for stopping by this evening. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.